Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Plum Wild podcast, episode 5. It's Thursday, October 26th. I am Nathan Waddell, and as always, I am joined in the booth by my teammate and best friend, Damian Kiefer.
Good morning, chap.
Tonight's episode is presented by House of Speed Setup Shop. Whether you need sprint cars, modifieds, or late model setups, www.houseofspeed.us has the dirt setups you need. Use code PlumWild15 for 15% off at checkout. That's PlumWild15. We want to give a big shout out to Mr. Dylan Hauser for coming on board to sponsor another episode. So, Kiefer, how we doing today, dude?
We're here. We're live. It's Thursday. I'm out of the groove. Thursday is like the day I go to bed early. I'm tired. I'm wore out. Friday, the weekend's coming. I have a wedding to go to Saturday. Got big plans tomorrow night. It'll be a pretty chill weekend though.
I hear you, dude. We're going. Me and Henry are going to Nashville on Saturday. So
boy.
Yeah, it'll be
a hell yeah, I get your tits out moment.
Yeah, we're going to see Wicked. It's Hannah's thing. She really wanted to go see Wicked. I think it's like live on Broadway or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. She's all about that. So that's what we've got going on. But we had a pretty big race. I mean, I'm sure everybody already saw it. You know, the VLR inaugural Fall Frenzy.
Absolutely, and we had the post race tour.
Yeah, we had the post-race show, and that went incredibly. I mean, it was just a great time. Got to talk with Rumsey and Edens and Hauser and Starry and a couple of guys at VLR Calavoda. Howard Weaver. This time he wasn't acting like a freaking idiot. He was actually being a little serious this time.
We'll say
KT.
that.
It was a really good time, and I didn't quite have the run that I wanted in the race, but I mean, overall, I had a pretty good night overall. If you take into account the podcast, because that was such a great time. So it was cool.
It was a long day.
It was pretty long. I mean, I didn't get any practice.
5 hours.
Dude, I didn't get any practice for that race, bro. I made 15 laps. Not to make excuses, but I made 15 laps, dude.
Yeah. Wow. Embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, you didn't even make the show, so that's embarrassing.
I know. It was
that's really embarrassing.
There really wasn't even any drama in the race.
No, none at all. I mean, it was it was boring. Nothing crazy happened. Just a normal race.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I saw as well.
No, it was wild. I was talking to my dad about it, and you were spotting for me because you somehow didn't make the race, even though you're better than me. No, you didn't make the race, so you could spot for me. And you know what? Actually, I realized because you were spotting for me, that's why I couldn't hear my iRating spotter. I just realized that because I rarely have someone spot for me, actually spot for me. And during the prelim, I was like, I can't hear my spotter. I thought it was a bug or something, and that was the reason for it. It was it's because you were spotting for me.
I spotted you in the regular race.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just must not have noticed it then or whatever. I'm pretty sure that was the reason.
I didn't hear it in the prelim, but I heard it in the race.
Were you spotting and hit the start spotting thing?
I don't remember, dude.
Wow. Either way, my point was that I was busy racing. And so, I was trying to keep an eye on what was going on up front, but half the time I couldn't even see them. And the guys were, pretty far out in front of me, but I was trying to keep an eye on it. So I had to rush at the end of the race to see what had happened. And I don't know. I don't think I got a really good picture of what had happened at the end there until I rewatched the race the next day. It was crazy.
Yeah, Yeah, and I spectated it, so I watched most of the race, especially the last 30 laps. I really didn't even watch you the last 30. I was just kind of like, yeah, go do your thing, because this race is kind of crazy, because there were 3-4 wides a lot of times, and it was actually somewhat enjoyable to watch for a little bit.
Yeah, and we we were I was in the back for most of it. I made my way up kind of early, and kind of got up, I think maybe towards like 12th or 13th. And then I think about midway through, like guys like Hauser and I want to say maybe, I think it might have been Jacob Fields kind of just rolled on by me. And I was like, shit. Yeah, these guys must have just been saving or whatever, making me think I'm fast whenever I'm blowing by them. But they motored on by me, and I was riding in the back. And then it was so funny, dude. I was riding there in like 17th, and I know that Jacob Fields was faster than me. And I'm just rolling, kind of running the same line, and then I'm going down the back straightaway, and then all of a sudden I'm starting to go around, and I'm like starting to boil as I'm getting more and more sideways. And I'm like, we're not going to fucking lift. And then like the next thing I know, I'm like pointed. I'm literally on the back straightaway looking at the flag stand. And I was like, God. And I know he reached out and apologized and said, he wasn't intending on doing that. Thought he was, off of me, whatever. I understand these right rear quarter panels just don't give enough outward. I say give outward, fold outward, bend outward, whatever. It's just, it's not fun whenever that happens to you, especially whenever you're back there in like 17th. I did save it. And someone pointed out that it was just like that instance with Don O'Neill where he got like just absolutely sideways entering the corner. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that not Davenport that had him sideways?
Yes.
And it was the number 5 car and everything. I was like, it reminds me of that meme where it was like corporate wants you to find the differences between these two pictures, and it's like they're the same picture. Yeah. That's what it made me think of. It was a little frustrating, but we ended up somehow. My dad asked me today. He was like, "How'd you end up going from like in the back to 15th?" And I was like, "I don't even really know, dude. I don't really remember the last couple of laps. I don't remember."
There was a lot of chaos there in the last 12.
I think maybe I just got all those spots from the guys wrecking up front. I don't know. I know Evan finished behind me, so there's one spot. Rumsey 2, I think, right? Didn't Rumsey?
Rumsey finished 5th.
Okay, so, I mean, I know I got some spots from that, but I really don't remember how I ended up 15th.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, 15th,
I made my money back and then some, so definitely
there you go.
Excited about that. But I think without any further ado, we're going to bring on our special guest for tonight's episode, and we will be right back. Our special guest on this episode is Blake Matjoulis. He is the 2019 World of Outlaw Late Model Pro Series champion. He has the highest iRating in the world, tons of Pro Series wins and Crown Jewel wins. And Tuesday night, he added another Crown Jewel to his illustrious resume, winning the inaugural VLR Fall Frenzy. Blake, welcome to the Plum Wild podcast.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Absolutely, dude. You were one of the ones that I wanted on here from the get-go. I didn't know, if you would ever consider doing it, but I'm just glad that you're here, man.
Oh, no, there was always consideration. I saw the channel growing. I saw you guys do your first podcast, and I think something like this is needed in the sim world, especially with all the nonsense that rolls on. So I think it's a good way to get a lot of people off that stuff and kind of focus on the more important stuff and have fun with this. And I like what you're doing, so why not?
I just like talking to the guys, even guys like you who get the interviews all the time in the post race, just to get to know the guys, a little bit more than just your little post race interview, short little time that you get to talk in a post race interview.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think many of us get a chance to do much talking, whether it's talking about racing, sponsors, whatever it is. I don't think we get much platform to do that. I mean, iRacing's a big platform as it is, but something like this doesn't come around much. Only a few podcasts I've only done. So definitely cool to see something like this grow and rise, and hopefully you guys keep it moving.
I appreciate it, man. So, I just alluded to it that, you only get a minute at max on these post-race interviews. Most people don't really know much about us as the drivers. Like I've said before, there's no Wikipedia article on us. So I'd like to just kind of start from the beginning here. What got you into motorsports and sim racing overall?
I grew up around dirt racing my whole life, so I grew up on racing NASCAR dirt late models mainly. And then I got into kart racing when I was 10 years old. I raced go-karts for 12 years. And then probably 6 years ago, I got into iRating. Just when dirt came out, everyone saw the hype, and me being a fan of late models, I saw it and jumped right on it. And my grandfather got me a little laptop, and this little wheel right here. And he's the one that got me all my equipment when I first started. And yeah, ever since then, I'm still on the same wheel. And yeah, just started out there and grew from there. But it's been a long journey. I mean, 6 years. It feels like it was yesterday when it first started. And when you think back at all the races I've done, all the races I've won, it's pretty crazy to think that time flies how it does. But yeah, just saw the hype about iRace and got into it, and yeah, and here I am.
Did you ever think that you would get to this point? Like whenever you start, like I ask this all the time, but I think it's such a good question. Like, did you ever think that you would be the number one ranked guy, have won a championship, so much money won in all these crown jewels? Did you ever think that?
No, not a day. Never thought that once, because at one point when iRacing first started, I never thought it'd grow to be what it is today, for one. I mean, shit, who did really? It looked like a fun thing to get into, but who really thought it would get this serious? I mean, the type of money you're racing for now is unbelievable. You can literally make a living off it. So it's pretty crazy. If you're a top runner and you're running top 3, top 5 in these big shows, you can make a week's paycheck in one night. So it's pretty cool to see how iRacing's grown, let alone how many people keep joining and getting involved. So it's pretty cool to see. And yeah, definitely when I started, I did not see all this happening, but what a roller coaster. It's pretty cool to see. And I'm sure a lot of people feel the way I do about it. And yeah, you definitely don't expect stuff like this, especially what happened Tuesday. Never would have thought. So here we are.
You talked about... No, go ahead, Kiefer.
It's just crazy. Like, how many friendships you've made probably over the last 6 years that are going to be lifelong friendships.
That too.
And just the people we meet along the way, and how much they truly mean to us, and how much those people have affected our lives. Even if we've known them and they've been on the team for a month, or like each person along the way has, I felt in my short time here, it's affected me in a little way, shape, or form. And you've been here for a very long time, and you went through the ranks. You've been to the top. You started down on the bottom like everyone else, and there's so many good people around this sport. And
some of them you don't even ever get to meet.
And a lot of people that just don't get recognized, and you don't get to hear about them or talk about them. And it really is a big family community in a way, even though we all hate each other most days.
Yeah, there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad, I feel. You don't know who the person is behind the screen until you meet them. There's some good and there's some bad, like everything that comes, with any kind of competition. There's the good and the bad people, but all depending on how you look at them. And it's a lot different when you meet in person. But yeah, I mean, the friendships is surreal. You'll never get the friendships you've made back, from iRacing. So obviously it plays a big part. And I think for others, it plays more of a part than anything, that you build friendships and you have fun on the game. But yeah, I mean,
you're competing.
Yeah.
Like the highest level.
Yeah, exactly. You're competing with your friends, racing for money. What else can you ask for? There's good and the bad, just like everyone knows that. There's good and bad. So yeah, the friendships I've made 6 years, a lot have come and gone, but there's a good base of people that I've known the whole 6 years that I still keep in touch with. But every day is a new day, and you meet someone new, and yeah, you grow from there. I mean, life's all about connections and who you know and who you talk to, and I've learned that. So, I mean, I've definitely learned that, and it's a big thing in life. So I try and be good to the people that are good to me, and I feel like that transfers into real life too.
You going back to, you talked about you raced karts. So you raced that, you said, for 12 years. What did you stop? I guess that means you stopped. And do you ever plan on running karts again?
I'm racing this weekend. Actually, I got a 2000 win. I got a ride. My buddy Jordan Mitchell. Hopefully, he's watching. Got a good ride for this weekend. So excited to get back behind the wheel and got some momentum rolling into the weekend. But I don't think I'll be running full-time karts again now. But sometimes life gets in the way, and I got big things coming, and that's why it just got hard. I lost time. Wanted to be, wanted to keep up with my iRacing stuff, my business, my customers, everything like that. And then I moved. Me and my girlfriend moved, and just I'm in a tight spot, and it was not really the thing I needed to be doing at the time. So here I am, and you never know. Something could happen with that, but I don't see myself racing karts full time again now.
So I got a question about the 2020 Late Model Pro Series. Now, I'm not going to get into the actual suspension, but you were suspended for the first 3 races. You still ended up finishing I think 10th in the points after that, correct?
Yeah, top 10, yeah.
Right. So I'm just curious, do you think that given the momentum that you had, if that three race suspension wouldn't have happened, you had just won the championship, do you think you could have went, back to back and been able to rival the kind of dominance that Hayden had that year and the consistency that Dylan Wilson, those guys had? I mean, you did such a good job in 7 races. Do you think over 10 you could have won it?
Yeah. Looking back on it, I think, I mean, definitely, because the first race back, I put like a straightaway on everyone at Eldora. I felt unreal. And then I remember, I can't remember what race. I know Charlotte was wild. Yeah. It sucked missing the first 3 races because the first 3 races were 3 of my really good tracks. So that was the kicker to me. That's what kind of stung a little bit because I knew that if I got through those first 3, I think I'd be in a
did we lose him?
Really good spot to be going for the points championship. So it was a weird situation with that whole thing and a kind of crappy deal. But I felt crappy when that stuff happened. But still able to make the points, make some money, win some races. So made the best out of a real shit situation. So
absolutely, even if you stayed in the top 15, and you kept your license, stayed in top 10, it's still it's a win.
When all that happened, I knew when I was going into all that, the only goal was win races. I didn't care because I knew I'd make, not to be that guy, but I knew I'd probably have a good shot at making pro next year if I missed the cut line. So my goal was win what you can, and then that time it was shady. I was on my own. There was just a lot of stuff going on. So, coming out with what I did was made the best of a bad situation.
You answered my question. The follow-up question that I have was, what was the goal then after the 3 race suspension? But that you answered it there. So, I mean, that was really a good way to recover there, the way that you did. I'm curious.
That win at Eldora.
That was a statement, man.
That win right there is a win I'll never forget. Maybe my favorite win, only because everybody on Earth was talking, just kept talking about what's going on. People either supported or just completely loved what happened, and it was really just a dumb situation. So. But that race, oh my gosh, it couldn't have played out any better. I'll never forget it. I had Evan on my tail, and at the time I hated him, so I wanted to beat him so bad, and he was so good at Eldora, and we walked the dog on him that night. So that's a win I'll never forget. That's a special one for sure.
So you hated Evan at that time. What was it like teaming up with him then?
To be honest, I hated Evan for a long time. Everyone knows that. We were killing each other for years, really. I feel like it's me and Hauser or someone now. Just that's how me and Evan were. It was legit too. I hated them, and I hated getting beat by them. And then a couple years into it, we made up, quit fighting and quit wrecking each other, and started talking and started testing, and here we are, like 3 or 4 years later. So, I mean, I made great friendships with them, and yeah, I wouldn't change it. You know, the way it all went down is pretty wild, and now you look where it is, and it's pretty wild.
Absolutely. And you guys came a long way. You've won the spring fling multiple times, like we've said, and winning the fall frenzy, and just being in the right moments a lot of times. You've always been there. And even like in the past races that I've watched over the years, you're never the guy that leads every single lap and makes a statement, but you'll pass them with 20 to go and then check out. Like, that's just kind of how you were. Or you waited till 5 to go and then made your statement then and then pulled away. Of course, there's been races you started up front, but you've had to grind a lot, especially with this Pro Series this year, which I feel was in your head. I can just see it coming from Blake Matjoulis' mind. This year was a little bit of a letdown.
Even though you won races. Even though you won races.
Yeah, we won 3, man. Or 4, was it? I don't even remember. 3 or 4.
You won the most out of anyone.
Was it 4?
I think it was 4.
Yeah, I think it was 4 too. But yeah,
but you had a really. It was just like Knoxville. You didn't make the race, and you just kind of got messed up. And
I hate that for you, man. That was
there
was
a few nights, and there was a few nights like I always feel like if there was one person. Like, I feel like Evan kind of always gets like Evan's got great luck. Like he does.
Come on.
And then
dude. 2 years in pro and not get wrecked once. I mean, he got wrecked. No, he didn't get wrecked. Shit, that one race he got suspended the last race. But
yeah,
you're
always charging. I always feel like you're coming through the bag at least half the season.
I was telling my old man, I said, I need a gift. I haven't got a gift in a long time. And finally Tuesday it happened, so I can't say much anymore about luck. It finally happened, and here.
Hey, I'd rather be lucky than good, man. Like, a win's a win. Like,
no, dude.
Money's in the bank. Like, who won?
Luck wins a lot of races, dude.
It does. It really does.
I tell you right now, it does. Lane choice, restarts. It all comes down. You got to have a perfect night. You want to win.
So as you brought it up, we have to, of course, talk about it.
Have to.
So my opinion, and I was talking to actually someone today about it on just like the whole start, just the start, not anything after the start.
Yeah,
just the start. Opinion. And he was asking me, he's like, what did Evan need to do, or what did Rumsey do, or like how does Evan get out of that situation? Which I think is a good question to ask and a good thing to talk about. And just the start itself and like iRating and the mentality and what we know and how long we've been around it. My opinion is I don't really have an opinion. I said I would have waited and I would have made Rumsey jump the start, and I would have made you hit me and jump the start and made us re-rack. And that's because to where Rumsey was, Evan was never gonna win that restart, and he knew it. And I would have been the same way.
Well, we all do it on the outside. You try to roll that start. You try to.
And he got it. And what Evan needed to do was like just blow up. Just
not even fire. Is that what you're saying?
I think Evan wins the race. And I think Evan wins the race.
I could have won that race if he doesn't fire. Then I probably would have stacked the whole damn field up, and I would have been the only clean car left.
Rumsey just got such a perfect start. That doesn't happen.
There's a lot of things I look at in that restart. There's a ton of different things, and it's not me because I don't care about that restart.
Right? No, you're sitting third. And if you're in so you were starting third, right? Correct?
Yeah, right.
So you're thinking Evan's gonna go in there and slide. Rumsey's gonna kind of cut down. I get there. I could possibly shoot bottom, and so that's your kind of mindset.
Oh, I had my mind made up. My plan was simple. Don't get hit. Throw some good shit. Walk home with a pocket full of cash.
Yeah,
and that's what happened. That's what happened because you know what? I knew it was going to happen.
Yes.
Dude, come on.
Yeah.
Anyone knows it's going to happen.
Yeah. It just like I would have like you played it. I'd say the smartest because you just stayed clean.
I didn't have a winning car, so I got gifted with the yellow, and I thought, oh my God, I could get second here. I really want second. I really want to go 1-2 here. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I knew they were going to race, so I was like,
Right.
all right, well, I know bottom's not good for one. Bottom wasn't good that race.
It wasn't.
It wasn't going to win the race. I can promise you that. And everyone's saying the track was good. I didn't think that. I mean,
up front.
You guys, I heard you guys.
Up front, it sucked. The top 5, you guys were running the train right through the middle.
Yeah,
Fifth on back though was really good racing. It was. It really was.
I haven't watched back, and I really need to because.
But fifth front, but like in my thing, like it's. I was telling Dad this about it the other day because it's even I see it in like the real life racing.
Yeah.
Like that. So your top 5, like we all in a restart, your top 5 spread out pretty fast, and your 5th on back or your 6th on back, like those guys continue racing for a long time, and then like you guys get spread out so fast. And on iRacing, like guys like guys of your guys' caliber, like once you guys get out front, you guys aren't going to make mistakes. And you guys can run nose to tail for 40 laps and never even flinch. Like that's what's kind of sucks about that.
Yeah, and I know before that first yellow, me, Evan, and Rumsey, we were gone.
Yes, you guys were.
I mean, I was not worried at all. I was like, I'm in a good spot, 3rd. I didn't have a winning car. I knew it after Evan passed me. I knew right there. I'm not afraid to admit. I'm not afraid to admit that. I don't care. I don't care because I got the money.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I'll never take anything away because I know who had the winning car that night. I know who had it. And I'll tell you what, you get 5 laps in a run, Evan's gone. I promise you that. Anyone can take off and fire off for 5 laps, but the game changer is past that 5th lap, what are you going to do? Because
well, you got to consistently hit that lap, and I think Evan's
every restart, Rumsey would be on him, throw a slider there and there. And
you saw it kind of like even like a few other guys, like they would try and you could hang with them for a little bit, but after and then you would separate, like you would.
Right. And then we had like Tomasi and Barbera, they're running.
But with 4 to go,
right?
You have to. Like if you're Rumsey, I just know if you're in that situation and if you're Rumsey's boat, you have a car that's not the best car, but a car that is close enough.
Well, he had a second place car.
He had a second. He had a yes. And he was good enough he was good, but he wasn't good enough to win it. And he had to do what he had to do, kinda. Yeah. And then Evan had to. If Evan once they had that restart, in order for Evan to win that race, he had to do what he had to do. That's the only way he was going to win the race.
Well,
just because of the circumstances of what the track was up front. Because you guys were going to get 1 lane spread out, and it was going to be very, very difficult to pass.
Yeah, you weren't going to win. Just rolling bottom or middle. You weren't going to do that.
No.
But that restart, it all comes down to that because there's a lot of questionable things about that restart, in my opinion.
Rumsey
set the pace. Rumsey set the pace.
He did.
So what race has that ever been right? Where isn't the leader holds in any other series I've ever ran? The leader holds the pace and fires when the leader wants, when he wants to go.
Right.
I didn't see that. He had a half a car length, 3/4 car lengths into 3, and then coming down the hill. Yeah, he timed it, but I would hope you could time it, right? I mean, shit, if I did that, I would hope I could time that. If I can't time that,
well, that's where I said Evan should have braked, because that's what I was talking to actually Robbie Swan about it. He's like asking me, he was like just sincerely asking me, he's like, what does Evan need to do to avoid what happened? And I said,
just
lift.
On the restart.
Not lift. Just don't go. Just let him go all the way.
The first thing I'm going to do because they're going to get out ahead and they're going to slow down because they're thinking we're waiting on you to go. Yeah. And then boom, you take off. He's gone. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that.
I think that's what Evan should have done, but Evan didn't want to do it because he was going to have to wait and he was going to screw up everyone behind him, and I felt like he was.
He's probably scared he was going to get ran over too. Not by you, but just overall, the whole field was going to get run over. You know what I mean?
That's what he
easily ran him over.
And I think that's like what he was.
like in the mind, like at the time, dude, it's so fast. Like we're like
split
you're doing
second
it, like,
reaction.
but in my mind, if he could do it over again, I would have braked, and I think that's how to avoid the situation. But I agree with you. Rumsey did set the pace, and that's how he got the good start.
Right, but
You avoid that by Evan setting the pace. Like, say if Rumsey's doing 45, you do 38, and you let him just soar out and let him look like a fool.
Yeah, but I'll ask you guys something both. So if you're sitting where Rumsey is and you got to restart with
I'm
5
doing
to
the
go.
same thing.
No, with 5 to go though. What's the rule? What's the rule on the start then? Because in my eyes, I've never heard the rule that you can pace faster than the leader, but if you cross the line first, then you get black flag. So I'll just go out a car ahead of Evan. If I'm Rumsey, I'm going to go a whole car length. If I know the rules, I'm going to go a whole car length ahead of Evan, and I'm going to get on the gas and start creeping on it until he hits it, and I'm going to make sure he crosses the line first, dead even. Who wouldn't do that? But who knew that rule? Because in my opinion, I've been on here 6 years. I've never heard of that rule in my whole life. I've never heard that the second place car can make their own pace and take off when they want, as long as the leader passes the line first. I've never heard of that rule, but whatever.
So
I don't care.
my thing, the only way to fix it, and I know it sucks. I know.
Single file. I already know single file, dude. It's 5 to go.
Delaware. I'm a big Delaware double file fan, and I think
I would not be
in the Fall Frenzy and the Spring Fling, we are smart enough to know how to do a Delaware double file. Yeah. If we aren't, Steven Calavoda, if I'm not smart enough to do a Delaware double file, kick me, please.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, World of Thunder did it forever. I think
this, just because I've been like IRL races, and I've been in small races, big races this year, and I've competed in, and I've ran in front, back, middle of the pack, wherever you want to. So I've learned just Delaware to me overall is the best because the leader gets his lane. The second place guy deserves something.
Agreed.
He does. So they can get that lane choice, I think, truly, and that gives that leader to do completely whatever he was because he's the leader, and he sets the pace.
And then it's based off of reaction time for the second row of second and third to go whenever they see the leader going. And it's not like this. You're trying to look to your right or look to your left and figure out when, to fire.
I'm all for that.
Because the double file, there's a racetrack that's local. It's not too far from where I live. I won't race. I don't like racing there. I hate it because they're all night. They do double file restarts, and the leader doesn't get lane choice. The leader has to pick bottom, and the outside lane is the better restart lane. And so the guy on the outside wins every time. So it drives me nuts. And so if you're gonna have the momentum there, he's gonna win it. He's gonna win.
Man, I mean,
so I think in the Gobbler, I think the Gobbler drama gets avoided if it's Delaware.
I mean, everyone thinks, everyone's talking about, I love the Delaware. I think it solves a lot of issues, but I think there's a lot of unclarity on rules and restarts because I learned a lot, and I'll make sure I'll do what Rumsey did because
you'll be
that's going to win.
The second place guy. Yeah. Second place guy.
Why would I want to lead? Why would I want to lead with 5 to go? I mean, I'd rather. But I do love Delaware, and I think it'd be a good idea for a lot of reasons. I think
I kind of wish the Pro Series would implement something like that because the single file is better than the double file. Yeah. I would agree because you can't you earned your spots in Pro Series, and if you start on the bottom at Fairbury and it's all slick, and you just drove from 20th to 5th, you're going 5th to 17th. Yeah. So you earn that spot. So I agree with what that is, and I know if you're 20th, you're starting in turn 2. But
you also got to think in that race and that restart, Evan, he was good. He was gonna. I'm telling you, that yellow didn't come out.
He was confident too.
Did he have a second?
Yeah,
I think it was more, wasn't it?
If the yellow doesn't come out, he wins.
Evan wins the race, not even close. Yeah. But with the yellow, you got to think Evan dominated that whole race. If people are talking, Rumsey got, I don't care what happened because I'm not involved in it. I didn't do it. It's not me. So you take it up with Evan, but it is me. But the way I look at it is Evan dominated that whole race, and he gets absolutely boned with that 5 to go yellow. That is, oh my God, that's Heartbreak Hotel. But now you put Evan, you put yourself in Evan's shoes. You got the bottom. It's all slick. There's a little patch on the bottom you can hit with your left rear, maybe just to shoot off, and then you're right back.
It's not gonna do anything though.
Or Evan takes the top, and now he takes me out of me being behind him. So now I'm not behind him anymore, and he's gonna go upstairs to second. And Rumsey gets a good start, dude. Rumsey's gonna door his ass in the wall. Are you? Duh, like Evan got boned in that move. I'm telling you, he got screwed with that yellow. And I'm not talking anything past that. I don't care about it because it has nothing.
It is what it is.
But,
it happened.
I'm just thinking
my thing is,
imagine leading 80 laps and that happens. Like
I would be heartbroken, honestly.
That's disgusting.
And what I said the other day, I don't know. I might have been streaming whenever I said it, or I might have been talking to somebody else. I can imagine being in Evan's shoes and you're racing for $4,000. And you're at 2 to go. I can't imagine what I would do to
dude. Evan was trying
to keep the lead. You know what I mean? I can't imagine what I would do. So I can't really be mad at him or fault him or blame him. Like there's no telling what I would do because I probably will never know because I'll never probably be in that position. But there's no telling what I would do in that situation to try to maintain a win for $4,000 after you've just led and dominated the whole thing. Or not, led the whole thing, but he led for a majority, right? So
I've had it happen so many times where I'm leading a race and I have a 2.5-second lead, and then you get the yellow and it screws you. It sucks for that much money. It really does. But you also got to watch that replay. I'm telling you right now, if Rumsey gets that inside, he's doing the same thing Evan did. But like Evan, he tried to move Rumsey. It's not very. It's obvious to me. He tried to move him, obviously. He wants to win. But the way people are making it sound is funny. It's all clicks, dude. They all love it. They love the attention. I love it, too. I love it. Keep it coming, too, baby. Because I'll tell you what, when they talk all that shit, our sales go through the roof. So, on iRating talk, shout out. Run it up. Run it up.
I love
that's what VLR said. All the guys about VLR, they were like, everybody talks shit about our events, but then the next race, the signups go through the roof. Like they sell out even quicker. VLR
rigs it for Matjoulis Speed Shop. It's been the last 3 events they rig it. It's hysterical.
Well, Steven wrote. He sent me the script before the race.
Yeah, dude. These virgins out there are hysterical that are out here trying to say that, but it's funny because they're actually serious. Like I don't think they're kidding. I legit think. There are a big group of people out there that hate VLR. They hate what me and Evan have done. They hate our guys just because of what we've done in the name. But
I wouldn't go as far as hate. And I would say this because I've met you and Evan both now. And
what are they saying? That's hate, bro. That's hate. They hate us, dude.
But I think it comes from I honestly think because I see it because like at one point in time like I wanted like that. That's who they want to be. Who you like? They want to have the success that you.
Jealousy,
have.
envy.
Sure. It's jealous. I think it comes from jealousy. It does. But you like.
I think Drake said that.
I've met me and you spent a few good times together, and we've competed on the simulator against each other at Eldor. But we've met each other. We know how we are as competitors, and I know how you guys are competitors, and. You guys won't stop until you're better, until you beat it. That's just there's a lot of guys they can't that's just who you guys were though. And I've met you guys. You guys are just you're good competitors. You're good competitors, and you want to win, and you do what it takes to win. And there's a lot of stuff.
We're just doing the same as everybody else, and I hate. Well, the thing about it is every race I've ever won, it's never been. I feel like it's never legit. Every race I've ever won, it's never Matjoulis wins. It's always some bullshit.
Right.
These guys, there's always some, whether it's mid-pack, dead last, straight line, wrecking this and that. It's you know what I mean?
I mean, the 2022 fling kind of felt pretty legit.
There's a lot of legit ones.
I mean,
but
they're all
also a
legit.
lot.
They're all legit. Don't get me wrong.
No, I got
but
you, yeah.
that one had the
Yeah.
least amount of controversy, I
For
think.
sure, 100%.
There was a good bit of build up between you and Hauser, but like that one had the least
But
amount
that race wasn't. That race was.
You were
a
really
wrap.
You were
That
gone,
race was
son.
a wrap.
You were
I
gone.
mean, he was good halfway, but that race was a wrap once we hit lap 70.
I'm curious. So going back to the frenzy, you go into turns 1 and 2 on the last lap, and you got Dylan Hauser on your right rear quarter panel. What are you thinking at that moment?
I'm going straight into the wall.
You think that it's
Dude,
happening?
I
thought
love
so.
Hauser. Like I
But
not love Hauser, and I have respect for like what Hauser does and how he does, like why he does it. Do I love racing against him? No, but do I think he's entertaining? Yes, I love watching Hauser because I think he's like just wild. But if I was in your shoes, like if he could have came off 1 and 2 a little better, he was going to full send it, and I was going to love every second of it.
I feel like I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I feel like me and Hauser would get along if iRacing wasn't a thing. I feel like we'd be good buddies, but I feel
you guys are we're competitors. So
Yeah.
what I think is it should stay between if Hauser bumps you, Hauser bumps Evan, Hauser bumps me, Rumsey bumps you, Rumsey bumps Evan. It's between those two.
Yeah, I hate.
I race too,
At
by
the
the
end
way.
of the day, it's between those two.
I hate it.
And everyone else wants to add on their own opinion, and I get it because you're on your team. You want to support. You want to support your boys. I get it. But at the end of the day, it should be between you and the other guy, and that's it.
That's how
But-
it should be.
The drama.
I've been in
But
a
like,
it's
people
not like
talking
that.
about
it won't
it.
ever be that way, and it will never, ever, ever be that way. I promise
know.
that, and it sucks because I don't want
I
to
feel
say
like
I'm
it'd be
a
more
part of it.
respect. We would race with more respect if it was like that as well.
My name is in the middle of it every time, whether I wreck or not, whether I'm at work or whether I could be at work and people talking, but that's not my fault. It's like I hate what's going on. I hate iRacing, like where it's at right now. It's just so. Oh my
It's
gosh.
getting it is
And
toxic.
I
and
I don't get on the Facebook and type shit, but I got into it with Hauser like a few months ago, and that's the only time I've been on Facebook because I read it and it's
well,
so funny.
it makes you
It's so funny.
well, like to me, like now, like so I've like deleted a lot of people like through this year, like off
Yeah.
Facebook, just
Oh, me
deleted,
too,
like
dude.
blocked, and
Yeah, me too. It's crazy.
and same way with like some of like post, but like at the end of the day, does it really matter? Like, come on, guys, like this. I'm the person, like if it happened, like that race happened Tuesday, like and it's today, like I already forgot about it. Like if I was in that race, I'd already forgot about it.
Me too.
I
It's
mean,
over.
Granted, you won, so you can look back on it. Like I could, like,
It's over.
Yeah.
It's over, dude. Nah,
But
we
like-
all think the same. It's over.
but like even like so there's just like nights where I win big races, and like it's the next night. Like now, like it's just racing. Like racing is all about tonight.
Taking your L's. Yeah.
Night. I think it's night, and that's what I think. Like a lot of like respect is lost some nights because like people didn't see, like they saw you win 4 races, but they didn't see like the struggle and how you still ran third in
there's-
points or like
Yeah.
and like they just
There's a lot of people out there that are trying to be someone they're not. There's a lot of frauds in iRacing. There's so many
just be
frauds.
you. Just
I
be
hope people
you.
are watching this because I hope you know one thing. I don't care. There's so many frauds on iRacing. It's ridiculous. There's people trying to sell setups. There's people trying to help that have been on here 6 months. Like I love to see it. I mean, yeah, you have a good race and an official. Does that mean that you're gonna go spend $1,000 on a website? You're gonna spend all your time building setups, and what are your accolades? What have you won? I'm telling you right now, all the people, it's the fill-ins that really ruin a lot. Obviously, you got the big 3. I think there's only 3 setup shops that are out there. There's only
Now.
3. Yeah, no, it's not
really
even actually
3 that are
there
worth
is
mentioning.
only 3. The rest are frauds. Frauds. I hate it. They're frauds, dude. They promote fake garbage. It's ridiculous how many frauds there are, and it irritates me because people are thinking they're getting good stuff or getting good help from good people, and they're not. They are not. They're getting robbed, and It's all about
dude,
promotion. But if one idiot is good at promoting and marketing, they're gonna get 50 guys, whatever it is. They're gonna get a good amount of people because they're good at what they do. But that doesn't mean they're actually good. There's so many people out there
that what they're selling is legit.
Yeah. Well, there's 3 that are legit. There's 3 that
right.
are
That's
legit.
that's what I'm saying. You're saying, yeah, I get what you're saying.
But there's obviously 3. There's those 3 have a lot of drama. Yes, but a lot of the outliner drama comes from the
other ones.
Yeah,
yes.
that they want to add in. They want to add in.
They want to be a part of it. The part of the drama a little bit. Like they want to end on it.
They want it, and then it's like they can do what they want and straight line you in an official, and no one will say anything because no one knows them. They got their small little group, 5 people. But if I go out there and straight line someone,
yes, yeah, I know it's not the same circumstances.
It ain't the same. There's frauds out there in iRacing, and
that's part of like. Well, I just got out of it, and I just got tired of it, and I just and I saw both sides, and now that I've been on both sides of the spectrum, kind of just. It's a lot, dude.
It's a lot.
And the people, and if one of your guys wrecks another guy or just bumps him, it's your fault.
Oh, it's
and you're
so
getting
annoying.
crashed.
Even Hauser said this. Even Hauser said this. How he said that if someone in a Longhorn wrecks someone, they're not gonna call Longhorn and say your guy just wrecked me. Like that doesn't happen in real life.
Tim McCready and them guys
right
now.
Arpin and all them.
I'll give them that. I mean, good point. It's so stupid and lame. It's just got out of control, and there's not. I mean, I wish I could do something to help, but I'm not giving up what I have built and what I've done and what is going on. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna stop because I love what I have done and what is going on. And I know
I don't think it comes from that. I don't think that's the reason why. And I just think it's I don't know what it people. It's just it is what it is. Like kind of at the end of the day.
Oh, it's exactly that, because I've met people that have talked shit, online, and then you see them in person, and they're so cool. It's just because they're behind a screen, the old keyboard warriors thing, that they act that way. But whenever you see them in person, it's like, well, what the fuck was that about?
Dude.
Like, now you're cool? Even Calavoda said it.
Like, I'll be like, because we have 3 simulators now that we were bringing to the track. I'd meet so many people, and it was great time, great to meet everybody and talk. And then it's like, some guy will come up and shake my hand, and he'll be like, hey, I'm this and that. And I'm like, damn, like, you're over here right now? I'm like, you were just like last week. Weren't you just typing last week, dude? Like, it's funny. But a lot of that's happened. I couldn't believe some of the people that like approached me and shook my hand. It's just crazy, they're I don't know.
There are some petty ones though. There are ones that they do hate you in real life that I've been informed. Not hate you. They just avoid it. I think they avoid it.
I had it happen.
I have never had someone come up to me in real life and be like, yo, you're a piece of shit. Say it. Well, if they're going to say it, then just do it, because but no one does. And I they can say all they want, but I've never got someone that comes up to me and is like, dude, you're trash. You're an asshole.
I had it happen at the Gateway Dirt Nationals last year. Well, not like in the bad way. I had it happen in the good way. Yeah. Me and Richie Yost had just gotten into it like 2 days before I left for the Gateway Dirt Nationals. I'm standing there waiting in line to do the little simulator thing to try to get quick time and a trophy, which I did, by the way. And this dude taps me on my shoulder, this big, tall motherfucker. He was like, Nathan Waddell? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, Richie Yost. And I'm like, holy shit, you're the guy that we were just getting into it over an official. And we stood there and talked for 10 minutes and had a good conversation. It's like, I think a lot of it.
Have you raced good after that? Or have you had run-ins?
I think we've raced good after that.
People I've met.
I think we've raced good after that.
I don't let it affect anything, but it's also different when you meet them in person and they're like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry for what happened. Emotions run high easily, but
they're more willing to kind of be cool face to face.
In person, you have to you're not gonna go punch that dude. Like, really, you're gonna go start a fight just randomly.
Just set it up in the parking lot. Don't do it at the simulator.
I think
just set it up outside.
I think we need to get to a more positive subject here. How about that? We
All right.
you know, so negative. So I don't know your full story, Blake. At least regarding sprints. It seems to me you've recently started running sprints. I know you were in like the last 2 pro series. You're running the qualifiers right now. I think you're 4th or 5th in the points. So has that always been an interest to you, running the sprints, or is it something that you recently kind of got interested in, you know, with the sprints?
I got sick of seeing Bergeron win all the time, and everyone's calling him the GOAT. Everyone called him the GOAT for like forever, and I'm like,
I mean, 3 championships.
Yeah, all right, fair play. But there was also a lot of competition differentials too. Look at late models and then look at sprint cars. Yeah, sprint car guys, I remember seeing, I think it was Edens do a podcast, or Edens did a voiceover or some shit. And I remember him saying that people weren't preparing it like Alex was every week. And I just remember him saying something like that, and I'm like, is it really like because I never raced Alex in sprint cars before then, and I'm like, is it really that hard?
Did you really run sprint cars that much before?
No,
then?
I never ran them. I never ran them until that one. I won the first race at Volusia, but I saw Hayden Cardwell go out the year before I started, and he was like, I was running right with him in late models. We were switching back. That's when he was real good, and I saw him go in sprint cars, win everything, and I think he almost locked the points up, but I was like, so as a late model guy, gonna jump in there and just do that right away. I'm like, if he can do it, I should be able to do it. Me and Evan, you know, we got the building, and Volusia, I literally went out and won my first race ever.
I know, that shit was crazy.
I could not believe it. And
you even surprised yourself a little.
Yeah, and the set was just coming in at the end too. That's a crazy thing. And then everyone, we found the 5 minutes before the race, we found the leaner setup.
Yeah.
And no one else had it. No one else found it, because who else would have thought put the car on the right? Like, no one else would have thought of that ever. And it was like a last minute type thing that we tried, and it was like, damn, it was good. And I ran it the whole night and won, and it ended up dominating the whole series. Like after we did that, everyone else had the leaner setup.
Right.
And then I remember everyone complaining so hard about how they drive like late models and how you're turning to the left, which you were.
Yeah.
And they changed them completely the next year, but it was just that first year was fun. And then last year what was I last year? What was it? I'm traveling with Chris all the time for the simulators, and I was going to a lot of UFC stuff. I had a lot of business stuff going on, actually, a lot of things in my life, and I wasn't preparing for sprint cars, and I just was messing around, and then I didn't make it. I feel really good this year, and I think if I really put time and effort in, I'll be good. I feel like the sprint cars favor us a little more now with this new build. I think they favor me and Evan.
What do you think? What do you think overall of like the way that sprint cars drive now? Because I've heard they are completely different.
They are, and the setups are way different, and I like that. I think the setups, you can run different setups at every track. It's not the same one. And I feel like the way the cars are now really benefit me and Evan as late model guys. I think we'll figure it out. I think we'll be good. But now that this race is over, I don't know if I'll be running as much late models. I really want to focus on sprints.
Right.
But man, there's just not enough time in a day to get all this stuff done, because when you got late model, you have a whole crew of late model customers and drivers, and that's all I care about. That's my number one priority, is all my guys. And if I can't get them ready and prepared, then why would I run sprint cars? So it's tough, but I want to do both, and it's really tough to do both and stay competitive in both. That's why you don't see sprint car drivers coming into late models, because you have to be in it to win it.
Yeah.
And you got to be in it all the time, because.
And I think that's where like Eden said he's doing. He's just like, he does 6 months on sprint cars and then 6 months on.
As soon as one ends, he starts with
the other. And it's easy for him to do because he's not in my spot.
He's not working with however many people, like in big client and customer base and team, and like they're not doing that near as what you guys are in volume wise.
Like, it's just it's so crazy what it's come to. But You just got to be on some like every day and just running laps. And I'll tell you what, I'm living proof that if you don't run laps, you don't win. You don't win as much. And I hate it. I get butthurt. I'm not the man like I was. I used to be the guy to beat every week, and I know where I'm at right now. I got lucky on Tuesday. I won 4 pro races. I think I had the most poles. Felt really good, and
I had 2 of them poles. Just throwing that out there.
Did you have the most poles?
No, I had 2 of the poles in the pro series.
Oh, okay.
So that was cool to do.
But I just, it's tough, man. You got to prepare. You got to, if you want to be to the level where, like Rumsey said, he was up till 2 a.m. testing for that race, and it's like, bro, I wish I could do that. People don't get it. Like, I'm out of school now. I'm an adult. I work 60 hours a week. That's my whole team. Evan, if it wasn't for Evan, I'd be garbage. And if it wasn't for Evan, the team wouldn't be where it's at.
Why do you say that?
Because of that. Why? Because I'm not around as much. Because 6 months ago, before I moved, iRacing was my job.
Right.
A CFM Esports was my life.
Yeah.
But now it's way different. But I want to change it. But if Evan wasn't here, my focus wouldn't be on all my guys because I wouldn't have the time to prepare and get them ready. With Evan there, I can prepare myself now while he's taking care of a lot of that. He's helping out a huge, so shout out to him. And I'll get there again. But it's just going to take time. And like I said, hopefully one of these days I'm
personally thinking about retiring. Not retiring the podcast or anything, or just like I'll still be around, but I just I don't have the time.
You don't
run as much. You don't run as much, and if you're not,
I want to compete, and in order for me to compete, I have to put in so many hours, and
because you have a level of expectation for yourself.
Yeah,
you don't want to just come on and run and not run worth a shit. You're not gonna do that.
I want to come on. I want to race for the damn lead. Okay, I want to race for the win. I like that.
And I'm out of state. I barely made this pod, and I'm out of state every day.
We appreciate you.
And pro series, I'd be on my route out of state, and I'd look at the time and I go, Jesus, dude, it's a race before the race. I have to make it home before I race, dude. And I'm like, this isn't going to win 10,000. It's not going to happen. So next year I'm going to change all that. I'm about over with it. But I got better things. I think there's just better opportunity and better things to come. I take it more because when it was full-time serious, it's just like it was a whole new level. And I knew that on my own. I could just way more smooth on the wheel.
You could just feel it.
You guys know that. I don't got to explain. I don't have to. You guys know.
We know. I get it. Yeah. And I know what it takes. And
I hate not being the man. I want to be the man.
I still feel like you still really are. You admittedly you're not.
Yeah, in a way, but I'm not dominant like I used to be.
Right.
But you've been dominant.
I can tell that drives you crazy though.
You've had your years and you've had your success, granted, but it does suck because my main focus now is my real racing. So, but when I get on here, I still want to compete. So that's why I kind of just want to hang it up for a little bit and back to where
all good things come to an end.
You know what I mean?
Not forever. There's always a resurrection.
There's always I'll always be around, but I know what it takes.
I'm curious. You know Kiefer's talking about retirement. Do you ever see a point where you're gonna ever hang it up on iRacing?
Nah.
No.
Well, maybe old when I'm old, but no, not right now. Hell no. I got my brother. My little brother, my brother. Yeah, I got my little brother coming, and he's 12. He's been running some laps on my stuff. And
what's his name? I feel like I saw him on Facebook recently.
Bryson,
yeah.
He's the man. He's the biggest fisherman hunter. He's just always outdoors. He's a concrete. He works concrete with my dad. The kid's 12 years old, dude. He's a brute. He's raw steel. Kid's huge, and when he gets, he loves racing too. Good ass kart racer. I can tell he's gonna have it. I want to focus on him. I want to get him good. I have 3 or 4 drivers off the top of my head that are 11 and 12 on my team right now that are just unbelievable.
Connor
Dude,
knew.
there's so much future that I want to be a part of that no way I could let it go. And that's why I want to drop a lot of things I'm doing right now, like, just out in my life, but life gets in the way. I can't do it right now, but I know for a fact that I will like this next race or whatever the next race is, I'll be way more prepared, because after that race, it was a big
wake up
hit in the nuts. Like, damn,
Yeah.
I'm getting smoked right now. Well, I wasn't getting smoked because I was third, but I'm like, damn, dude, I'm not there. Like, I'm not.
You have a
like,
level
at
of
least there.
expectation for
I'm
yourself.
not like that. So now I'm like even more determined than ever. So I'm just ready to go.
Yeah.
And I know it's a video game and it sounds ridiculous.
No,
but,
I mean,
dude,
that's
I'm
what
ready
this
to go.
podcast
I am
is.
ready to go. This
There's
win
more
really,
to it.
Yeah, it really it pumped me up, and I'm ready to get back at it. So hopefully things change and we get running.
I hear you, dude. I mean, so it sounds like Matjoulis is here to stay. So I don't know if this has been officially announced, but Chris mentioned it, so I feel comfortable mentioning it, that you are possibly getting a ride in a midget by Pedregon, good old Cruz Pedregon. What can you tell us about that?
Cruz Pedregon is the man. He is the dude. He's so awesome. He found us on iRating, and we've been so close of friends. He flew, he took me out to Norwalk, Ohio, and got me everything I needed for the whole weekend. Just absolute class is that man, and he loves what me and Evan are doing on the sim, and we partnered up, and we help him when we can, and he helps us. And Cruz is for the people. Cruz puts a lot of money down for us, all of us. Not for me, for all of us, and he cares about all of us. So that's why I love Cruz, because Cruz is about everybody. For everyone's better, and he wants to help sim racing grow, and that's a guy that we need to make sure we take care of.
And I personally want to allow it to grow, because just look how far just in 6 years, like I've been here for 3.5 years now, I'd say, and it's crazy. Like, we're racing for some serious cash nowadays. Like, and if we could get it just like a little bit more attention and bigger, and we could get it like really, really big, like possibly. And
I'd love to see the Pro Series end up like Coke Series as far as the money. Paying.
Yeah, well, me too. But I don't. Yeah, the Pro Series is weird because it's like I feel like
the VLR could almost, if they could get it done, it would be difficult, but they could get it done.
You know what? Too. I mean, I think so too.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying anything about iRacing.
It's just Howard to do something.
I feel like the promoting went a little down. Like, it didn't seem like it was as hype. Like we're going into the championship, and there's a level of like you got 3 guys that can win the points, but you don't see anything on anything.
It wasn't very hyped. I agree.
And it never used to be that way. They used to post highlights all week, get people pumped up. They get thousands of views, and it died down. And I don't know why. It kind of bums me out, but
yeah, it
I
does.
don't know. But Cruz is the man, and he's putting a lot of money into this stuff and investing in iRacing, and yeah, he likes what me and Evan are doing, and he's interested in getting well, he's got 2 brand new midgets at his shop, and yeah, so
that would be pretty sick.
That'll be in the future, but I can't wait for that, and I hope everything falls into place, and damn, that'd be sick.
That'd be pretty sweet. I'd love to drive a midget, dude.
I mean, I think that's everyone's dream. You know what I mean? Like to get a chance to race a car from iRacing.
Cruz,
you know?
Yeah, I mean, Cruz had a lot of ideas that I'm not going to get into now because not a lot of it's official. But Cruz is very I think Cruz is going to be something or someone that changes. I don't know about my life, but I think Cruz could change a lot with my racing career or iRacing or whatever it is racing. I think Cruz is going to do. I see something like I just see it.
The potential.
I see something big. I really do. Something I never felt before. So yeah, let's go, Cruz.
That'd be super cool. Hey man, driving a real car just it's a dream. It really is.
Have you ever driven a real late model, Blake? I believe
drives a late model before, haven't you?
No, I drove that Barry Wright car they had at Charlotte.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, an old car.
Yeah.
Was that for winning the 2019 points?
Yeah.
It's the same thing Zach
Yeah, that was
Leonardi
the
did.
last year they did that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and it was cool, man. It was insane. So think about this. You're like the biggest underdog. I felt like a total underdog in that year, and then I ended up winning that, and everything just didn't feel right. I was like 16, dude. I was 17 years old. Just won a bunch of cash. Brought my own car. Everyone's like, "Damn, dude, you're the man." It's like, it was so cool. And then I flew to Charlotte, and I got my whole family there. I got everybody there, and then Clint Boyer pulls up. Josh Richards pulls up, Brandon Shepard and Mark Richards are all there for this test. And I'm like, dude,
He's probably shitting bricks.
crazy.
Nervous
I'm
as
like,
shit.
damn. And they got TV cameras and shit. And I'm like, wow, this is way different than I thought it was going to be. And, I've never gotten a real car. And I'm like, damn, going straight from iRacing into this. And my dad's like, well, dude, don't be lollygagging out there. Don't be like pussyfoot. I'm like, dude, I know. Let me be. I'm like, let me be. And so I got all these eyes on me, so nervous. And I just went out there and I told myself, just rip it. Just rip it. And I didn't know how I was going to react. And I got real tight. Like I got in hard. And then I'm like, holy shit, am I going to make it on exit? So I lifted. And I just remember the first time I lifted in the center of the corner, the thing just turned like a dump truck. And I'm looking at the wall. And I hear Boyer's voice in my head because before I went out, he's like, dude, don't crash my shit. Joking, and I'm like, dude, and when I let off, I'm looking at the wall. I'm like, oh. So I didn't do that again. But it took me like 3 or 4 laps to get used to. And then I'll tell you what, after 3 or 4 laps, I was getting through 1 and 2. I was not even lifting. And then 3 and 4, I'd lift a little bit, but man, I had to run like 50, 60 laps that day.
No shit.
They gave me like 3 or 4 sessions, and
That's awesome,
so
dude.
to them, and I'm upset that they don't give that out anymore because
we need to get you out here in the Midwest and get you part of the wheelie gang. Get you see if you can drive a wheelie.
Unreal that,
dude.
But yeah,
that gives you something to grind. That would give us, I don't know. We're racing for 10K anyways, but like,
experience is more than the money.
Yeah,
like,
it gives you something really cool to grind for, like a real cool goal. Like I
thought way more would come from it. Like I thought for sure I'd have a ride. Like I've won every crown jewel there is to win, and I'm like, dude, it's got to be coming, and it never happened. So I mean, upsetting, but whatever. I'm not gonna, whatever, it is what it is.
Life.
Yeah, whatever. I live on. Whatever. I don't care. Maybe one day. That's why this midget deal's huge. So
any opportunity, you just make the most of it.
Yeah.
That's at least along the way here I've done because, well, I mean, I had to pay for it at first. Now I thankfully got a. So right. I had to work up the ranks and I had to work there for a few years like you're doing right now, and just to get back settled, and life happens, dude, and it is tough.
I mean, I'm in a weird spot. I'm just at a weird, like, because my girlfriend's in pharmacy school right now, so there's just so much shit changing that it's unreal. So like in a couple years I'll be in down south with like Chris and Evan and all them, and we have plans set out for like the next few years that are official and some that aren't. So I can't wait to move down there and get some stuff rolling out there. We have some huge stuff to get moving, and I can't wait to like announce it and just get ready. And it's not about speed shops or anything like that. It's just about like growing the community. And I know what we're going to be doing in the future is going to be massive for everybody. It's not going to be just for us. It's going to be for everyone. And pumped, man. Absolutely stoked.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot of exciting plans. And I look forward to it. I mean, I think we all want to see, guys like you and Evan in, real cars, but that's really cool, man. But listen, we really appreciate you coming on for the podcast, man. It's been great. Would you like to shout anyone out before we let you go?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I got to thank you guys for doing this. I had a blast. I feel like we just started. I feel like we could do it another hour. But
I know, dude.
Good time. We'll do it again.
If it wasn't Thursday, I mean, it's almost bedtime.
Next crown jewel you win, we'll get you on again.
We'll definitely run it up again. It was a good time. So thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We appreciate what you do for the community and what you guys do over there. And
I got to thank everyone that watched the race the other night. I had a crazy just the messages and outreach was insane. So I appreciate everyone that hope they enjoyed it, and VLR for putting the race on. Like I said, you guys for having me. Evan C., Chris Ferguson, CFME Sports, Represent Limited, Game Up Nutrition right here, best shit on the market. And that's going to do it for me.
Awesome, Blake. Well, thank you very much. There's your $4,000 richer Fall Frenzy winner, Blake Matjoulis, everyone.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, dude. All right. Well, that was Blake Matjoulis. Wow, he's a really good guest. I mean, all of our guests are, but Blake was really good. That was a fun time. Definitely, he talked a lot more than I expected. I think I kind of don't really know what to expect sometimes with these guests, but I was pleasantly surprised with how much he talked.
He talks a little more than Evan does.
Yeah, a little bit more. Tia's mad that she didn't even get a shout out. That's mad unfortunate, Tia. I shout out Hannah all the time. So.
Hey, do you though? No, you make fun of Hannah. Tia, just make Blake give you a little rub your back or something. Good.
That
make him make you some ice cream or something. I don't know.
Wow. Well, we don't really have much going on coming up other than NWRA Monday night.
Yeah.
2 rounds left. I'm sitting third in points. We did you finish third?
Back-to-back third places.
Yeah, I finished second at Fairbury. So
got screwed over. I should have won that. You were slow in the way.
I was slow.
Vickers won it.
I was very slow, and I was somehow able to come away with a second place. But we got I-55 coming up. That's the next to last round. And then we've got Eldora to finish us off for that. So definitely looking forward to those. And then we should be back to regularly scheduled Wednesday.
Stay, my dudes.
For the next podcast. Kiefer, you wanna end us off with another front flip, buddy?
They want to know. They wanted to know where the fan is.
I think you should. I think you should do another flip. Do another flip.
What?
Do another flip. Headset's coming off. Kiefer is lining up, moving the fan. He lines up here. And there's the front flip, and he nails it. Perfect. Perfect landing. Beautiful. We love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Well, listen, guys, thank you all for tuning in.
Backflip. Who gets him dressed in the morning? Oh, dude, it's just shop clothes.
Shop clothes. The
Dude,
jeans.
Let me stand up for myself before you do the outro.
The jeans, the shop fit.
The little boy section. What do you mean, bro?
Dude, he's so short. He's so short. That's actually a kid's extra large that he's wearing right now.
Dude, these aren't even that tight. What's the problem?
Those are actually shorts for most people. No, but
wow.
Anyways, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Plum Wild Podcast. Thanks again to House of Speed for sponsoring tonight's episode. Don't forget to use PlumWild15, code PlumWild15 for 15% off at checkout. And for myself and Damian Kiefer, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see y'all back here in the next one.